Hello, hello. Welcome to your math lesson for today, Thursday, May 14th. I hope you guys are doing well today. Why don't we go ahead and get right on into it with your speed drill. We are doing lesson 149. That goes with workbook page 269, 270, but let's do your speed drill first. Your speed drill should be at the bottom left-hand side. And I believe you have 3 minutes for it. Yes, and it's an addition grid. All right. So bottom left side. Here is your clock. On your mark, get set, go. And pencils down. How'd you guys do? Well, I hope. All right, today's lesson is more of a factual lesson. What do I mean by that? Factual lessons mean give you a lot of definitions for things and you use a lot of terminology, but it's not a lot of math. And that's a lot of geometry. So yesterday we started our geometry, I don't want to say unit because it's only 2 lessons that we're really touching on it, yesterday and today. But geometry really just gives you facts and you apply it to different shapes and how they look, okay? So you're going to find that this workbook page, which again, you should be focusing on page 269 and 270, we're going to do a lot of it together, and a lot of it is just information that you're going to have to memorize, okay? It's kind of like your addition facts or your subtraction facts. 2 plus 2 is always going to be 4. A square is always going to have 4 sides. A triangle is always going to have 3 sides, except now when we're talking about geometric shapes, it's getting a little bit more complex, okay? All right, so let's talk about it. Look at the top. And again, guys, remember, you guys are going to get this in 5th grade too, so if you don't get it perfectly today, this will likely not be on your test on Tuesday, but I want you to do your best just so you have an idea. We're just touching on it, right? We're just making sure that you've seen it before, and the next year you'll go a little deeper, and then 6th grade you'll go way deeper, 7th even deeper. Like, it'll just build on itself, right? All right, top of page 269, page 269. Number 1, a simple closed curve does not have a point of intersection. Remember, intersection means that two lines are crossing. So a simple closed curve does not have a point where the lines will cross, all right? It's a shape that's closed, meaning it's not open, which is pretty, I should have looked for my marker. I'm sorry, guys. It's here somewhere. Haha, behind my coffee cup. Not coffee cup. I had milk in there, if I'm being honest. I don't like coffee. You guys knew that. All right. So a closed curve is, curve. A closed curve is all the way around. Now, an open curve isn't going to meet, right? If you were to put water in here, it would probably leak out because there's space, right? Does that make sense? Closed means that there's no way in, there's no way out. And it does not have a point of intersection, right? How about number 2, a polygon? A polygon is a simple closed curve made up of line segments, all right? A simple closed curve made up of line segments. So none of these shapes, any of the polygons have a I don't want to say curve because it's called a closed curve even though there aren't curves, but like a rounded edge. All right, all of these polygons have straight edges that meet at angles, right? Number 3, a triangle is a polygon with 3 sides. So a triangle is a type of polygon. There's squares, there's trapezoids, there's rectangles, there's rhombuses, there's octagons and hexagons, and all of the gons are all polygons, right? They're all shapes. They're simple closed curves made of line segments. And then the last one, number 4, a quadrilateral. Say that again, quadrilateral is a polygon with 4 sides. So that can cover rectangles, that can cover squares, that can cover, trapezoids, that can cover rhombuses, that can cover parallelograms, right? They have 4 sides and they're polygons, all right? So look down below at the shapes that they're introducing today. You guys should know rectangle and square. A rhombus is just kind of a fancier word for diamond, and it's on its side, right? And then a parallelogram is real close to a rhombus. Let's see. Parallelogram is parallel opposite sides. And then a rhombus is just a parallelogram with 4 equal sides. All right, so let's make sure we understand that. They're saying that a parallelogram is any shape that has 4 sides and the sides opposite each other are parallel. So a square is a parallelogram because the 2 opposite sides are running parallel to each other. And these are running parallel to each other. All right. They're saying that a rhombus, oh, I lost my eraser now. Oh, duh. They're saying a rhombus is a parallelogram because the 2 sides are running parallel to one another, and these 2 sides are running parallel to one another. All right? I understand if you don't get it. It's okay. We're doing all of these together, but I just wanted to touch on it. So make sure that you're studying them. They will start to get easier as soon as you get the definitions down in your head. All right? So let's practice, guys. Let's practice. We are going to place a check mark in the blank of the shape as a simple closed curve. So remember, as long as it doesn't intersect somewhere, it is a simple closed curve, and you're going to put a check. So look at the first one. Do you see any intersections? No? Perfect. Put a check mark. A is a simple closed curve. How about the next one? The next one. I said A, but it's not A. It's just the first one. The second one looks kind of like an 8. that's been colored in? Is this a simple closed curve? I'm hoping you're saying no, because look, we have an intersection right here. Do you see the intersection right there? Well, I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if you'll be able to see that one either. This is tricky without you guys right in class with me. Let's try red. You see the intersection right here? Kinda. Here's an intersection, right? Where it goes from that 8 down to the bottom. There's an intersection. When there's an intersection, it's not a simple closed curve. Next one, triangle, yes or no? No intersections on that one. That is a yes. Yes. Look at the third one. That one looks interesting, right? Would you be able to tell me what kind of a shape that is? Probably not, because I don't even know what shape that is. Do you see any intersections? I do not. Now, if you saw maybe it looks like this a little bit. It kind of looks like a Mickey Mouse head, right? Yeah? Now, if this was coming down here, and then this, you see how the intersection would be right there? That would not be a simple closed curve, but since all of it is colored and you cannot see the black lines, if you look closely on the second one, you can see the black lines separating each other, right? And you cannot see that in the fourth one, so that is a simple closed curve. How about a circle? Are there any intersections on a circle? Nope, it is a simple closed curve. Put a check mark. And the last one, kind of, it's two triangles, right? Do you see any intersecting? I do, right? There's a big old X in the middle. Since there's intersecting, that is not a simple closed curve, okay? So leave that one blank. So again, the first one should have a check mark. The third one should have a check mark. The fourth one should have a check mark. The fifth one should have a check mark. 4 check marks total. All right, now for number 2, we're going to do all together. And basically, you're just going to copy it, kind of like Bible, all right? And then you're going to make sure that you understand why each of those fit, all right? You are going to give all the names for these shapes. For example, let's look at the one that they did for us. They have a red square, Now, we know that this is a simple closed curve because there's no intersection. So it's a simple closed curve, number 1. Number 2, it's a polygon because it's a simple closed curve made up of line segments, right? It took 4 line segments to make that square. Number 3, it's a quadrilateral because it's a polygon with 4 sides. Number 4, it's a parallelogram because both opposite sides are running parallel to one another, right? Number 5, or next one, I'm sorry, it's a rhombus because it's a parallelogram with 4 equal sides. So all squares are rhombuses. All squares are parallelograms. Lastly, well, I guess not lastly, second to lastly, it's a rectangle because it's a parallelogram with 4 right angles. Right angles, remember we talked about those right angles that come together perfectly to make a square. And then last one, it is a square because it's a rectangle with 4 equal sides. Do you see how all of those terms apply? It's not saying you need to call it by all of those terms. You could pick one, but they all apply to the square, all right? So let's do it, guys. Let's do it. Let's go through. And really what's going to help you is going through the list, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then going through all of the shapes and deciding if it fits within that category, okay? All right, I'm going to switch over to our documents so I can write them out with you. We are on letter B. All right, and you have like a diamond shape. Let's start with number 1. Even though we know that this is going to fit rhombus, we know rhombus is going to be one of the answers. Let's start at the top. Is it a simple closed curve? I do not see any intersecting points, so yes, simple closed curve is the first title. Number 2, is it a polygon? Yes. Second title is a polygon because it's a simple closed curve made of line segments. Next one, is it a triangle? It has 4 sides, so it cannot be a triangle. That's a no. How about number 4? Is it a quadrilateral? Yes, it has 4 sides. Quadrilateral. All right, starting on our shapes. Does it qualify as a parallelogram? Yes. Whoops. There we go. Its opposite sides are running parallel to each other. And then the last one is kind of nice because we already know it's a rhombus, right? So that's going to have to go in that last one. It is not a rectangle because the angles are not right angles. It is not a square because it's not a rectangle. It's not a trapezoid because it has 4 parallel sides. Do you guys see how those don't apply? So I'm going to put rhombus. All right, let's look at letter C. Now we have a picture of a triangle and there's only 3 options. There's only 3 available names. So let's start at the top. Is it a simple closed curve? Yes, it is a simple closed curve. Is it a polygon? Yes. It is made of line segments. Absolutely. Polygon. And is it a triangle? Number 3, polygon with 3 sides. Yes, it is. And look at that. We're out of space because it doesn't qualify for any of the other things, right? A quadrilateral has 4 sides. Parallelogram has 4 sides. Rectangle, square, trapezoid, and rhombus, they all have 4 sides. So if we have 3 sides, that's where we stop. All right, look at D on the back, guys. D on the back. We're going to start on the top again. If you need to flip back and forth, that's fine. Is this a simple closed curve? The answer is yes. There are no intersections in that shape. Excuse me. How about a polygon? Yes, it is made of line segments. How about a triangle? Nope. That one has 4 sides, not 3. So that means, guess what? It's going to be a quadrilateral. Let's keep on going. Is it a parallelogram? Are the opposite sides parallel to one another? Now that, let's look real quick. That is not true, and here's why. A trapezoid has one set of sides that run parallel to each other, but the other does not. So we have one set of sides. Whoa, that's not really parallel, sorry. There we go, that run parallel to one another. But then the other 2 sides do not. Do you see how these are going to intersect at somewhere down the line? Those are not parallel. So that cannot be a parallelogram. That is not true. How about a rectangle? Does it have 4 right angles? Nope. One of those angles is a little skinnier than the other one. So you guys see that? I'm going to come back to me. Look at my drawing. So we have a right angle here. We have a right angle here. Ooh, but we do not have a right angle here or here. Do you guys see that? So not 4 right angles. And if it's not a rectangle, then it cannot be a square. But it can be, let's see, is it a rhombus? 4 equal sides? Nope, but it can be a trapezoid, right? Because it only has 2 parallel sides. So there's trapezoid. All right, letter E. Is this a simple closed curve? Yes. Are these all simple closed curves? Yes. Is this a polygon? Yes. Are these all polygons? Yes, they sure are. Is this a triangle? No, it has 4 sides. So that means that it's a quadrilateral. Which quadrilaterals are part of it? Is it a parallelogram? Yes. It is a parallelogram because it has 2 opposite sides that go parallel and 2 opposite sides that go parallel. Is it a rhombus? It is not a rhombus because it does not have 4 equal sides, right? 2 different lengths for each of the sides. It is a rectangle. That's the very basic shape name that we know for this one, right? And then that should be it. All right, last one, letter F. You hanging with me? Again, simple closed curve and polygon, not gone. All right, now let's keep on looking. Is this a triangle or a quadrilateral? It's a quadrilateral. Yeah, because it has 4 sides and not 3. And then last one, is this a parallelogram? Yes, yes it is. Now this is not a rhombus because a rhombus has 4 equal sides, right? A rhombus is like a square. A parallelogram is like a rectangle, right? A parallelogram just needs parallel sides on each of them. A rectangle just needs 4 right corners. Now a rhombus is a parallelogram, but it has to have 4 equal sides. And a square is a rectangle. It just has to have 4 equal sides. Does that make sense? Do you see the comparison there? All right, guys. Last part. Are you ready? Let's do number 3 together. Yes, we're doing 1, 2, and 3 all together. So when we're done here with number 3, all you guys will need to do is 4, 5, and 6. Now, you may use a homework pass on this if you'd like to, but that's really not that much work, so I'm going to leave it up to you. Let's look at number 3. It says write true or false in the blank. Letter A polygon always has 4 sides. Well, let's look at the definition. Polygon is a simple closed curve made up of line segments. It says nothing about only 4 sides, so that is false. False. Letter B, this is a right angle. Does it form a box? Yes, true. That is true. Right angle has that box. Remember that box as the angle. Letter C, this is a point. True or false? Yes, right? It kind of looks like a decimal point, but it's just bigger. Where do you think decimal point got its name, right? This is a point. Letter D, this is a line segment. This is a line segment. True or false? If you said true, you are wrong. Ooh, did I trick you? That is false. Remember, a line segment has 2 points on either end, right? A line segment means it starts here and ends here. This with the arrows, that is just called a line. That is just called a line. Lines keep on going. Line segments stop, okay? All right, letter E, a quadrilateral is a triangle with 3 sides. Well, let's check out the definition. Quadrilateral, it says a polygon with 4 sides. So, wrong. False. All right, guys, that's it for today. I expect you to continue going with this lesson. Either you're using a homework pass, which again is fine. If you're not, you need to do 4A and B, 5A, B, C, and D, 6A, B, C, and D, all the rest of the page, okay? All right, guys, I will catch you later. Goodbye.